Space, the final frontier. My name is Captain Foley, and these are my adventures. Captain's Log, Stardate 201608.05. Welcome back, everybody. It's Captain's Log time, of course, in case you can't tell. And I thought I'd choose a little bit different venue. You can probably hear the buzzing of the motors on my 350 scale TOS Enterprise, but that's okay. I wanted to show it off. I don't show it off as much as I'd like to. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's not a movie in L cars, but there's other stuff to see back here. We got Kirk and Khan. We got the trifecta, Kirk sitting at his chair. So, plus a bunch of other stuff on the walls. There's me and William Shatner up there. Puzzle I made years ago. Lenticular Enterprise that I got from Las Vegas. Las Vegas Star Trek Convention 2013. When me and my wife went, and we got married down there. So, interesting fact, I don't know if you knew that. We went down for the convention, and we had it planned all along. We got married in a helicopter above the strip at night, which was beautiful. We got some great pictures. We told a lot of the celebrities and stuff while we were there that we were getting married. They're like, "Oh, you're doing a Star Trek wedding?" And we're like, "No," and they're like, "Oh, well, that's probably good, because it's kind of tacky." But, so there you go. Yeah, include something from Las Vegas, because I can't be there this year, which is a shame. I'm seeing everybody's posts and pictures from it. A lot of the people that are in my normal feed are there, and it's kind of bumming me out that I can't be there as well, but I'm there in spirit. I would love to just be there to represent Trekyards, or at least walk around and have people recognize, you know, hey, Captain Foley, because that's the one place where that would happen, more so than a comic book convention or something. So anyway, I'm kind of bummed out that I'm not in Las Vegas, but what are you going to do, right? Next week on Thursday, heading to Ticonderoga, New York for Trekyards. So we'll be there the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have a panel. Trekyards has a panel. Samuel will be Skyping in on Saturday at 1 o'clock, talking about 50 years of a ship called Enterprise. So check that out. Also, London City Comic Con for London, Ontario, where I live, September 23rd to the 25th, I believe. I think those are the right dates. It's a weekend. They've also invited Trekyards to be there, so there will be a Trekyards panel there on Saturday as well. Not sure what time or what the topic's going to be. Probably 50 years of Trek, and why the Enterprise icon is, or the Enterprise design is so iconic, something like along those lines, I think. So stay tuned for those convention appearances and things. Couldn't make it to Las Vegas, which is a shame, but a few things I want to shout out real first. Ken Molly sent me some certificates. Now, he's a gentleman from Dublin, Ireland. Hey, Captain. This was May 24th, 4 days before my birthday, that this was done. They came in before the Mission America trip, and I keep forgetting to mention them. So, hey, Captain, here's the model I promised. Happy birthday, enjoy. He gave me one of his old model kits. In the vein of Kirk and his Kirk Fu, I have included 2 honorary black belt certificates for you and the commander. Officers of the fleet must be able to protect themselves on away missions. They are purely ornamental, so I wouldn't go ringing you up to ask you if you want to fight for this or that. But if you find any time in Dublin, you're more than welcome to drop in for a workout. Regards, Master Ken Molly, 8th Dan, founder of Trekyards CRC kickboxing system. P.S. I don't know Samuel's address. I would be obliged if you could pass it on. Thanks. So he sent certificates. A Dan certificate. Captain Stuart Foley. There's no R, which there's a story behind that, but Honorable First Dan and the date signed by him. There's also one for Commander Cockings as well, which I really should have taken and given to him on the Mission America trip, but completely forgot about it. So I messaged him and said that's great and awesome, but you spelled my name wrong. So he said he had his daughter doing them up for us, so it was her that spelled it wrong. So he did a video from his house, and his daughter was at the table rewriting one for me to do it correctly, and that came also. So there it is, my Dan certificate for that. So thank you very much, Ken. That's much appreciated and very, very cool. Commander Cockings, I'll get yours to you at some point. Now, it's kind of ironic because my brother is I believe it's 5th degree black belt, 5th Dan for Butokakai karate. He has his own Foley's family karate. He teaches karate and is just awesome. My dad's also, I think he's a 4th degree black belt. My brother's kind of exceeded my dad now. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that I've been raised around that kind of thing. My brother used to show me demonstrations on how things worked and why. And so yeah, karate's not a new thing to me. So thank you, Ken. That's awesome. Also, I do want to do an awesome shout out to Mark Lawrence. Mark Lawrence is a gentleman we met in LA. He provided Samuel with a new processor for one of his computers to help speed things up. He's also sent me a solid state 5 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive, to clear off my computer because it was full. I had maybe 30 gigs left of like 700 gigs I think that my computer has. So that's awesome. He's also gave me a really cool USB drive, 64 gigabyte, and he's also provided Samuel with an external drive as well. So Mark, thank you very much. Those donations are much appreciated. A lot of people that can supply equipment, things like that, that's awesome. Just let us know. We would gladly accept those, and thank you so much. You're awesome. So now I guess I got to talk about Discovery and whatnot. Firstly, though, I just want to talk about the Franklin real quick. We had the opportunity to speak with Sean Hargraves, who designed the Franklin and also the Starbase Yorktown and the new Enterprise A. So he is now a new special guest on Trekyards. So stay tuned for episodes from him talking about the Franklin and the Yorktown and Enterprise A. We released a sneak peek, or a first look at the Enterprise A concept sketches yesterday in a mission briefing format. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, pass it along. That's pretty cool. So yeah, having a new guest star that's a fantastic designer, and it's been great talking to him. We've also spoken with a gentleman from Space Dock, which is another channel on YouTube that highlights ships. Talked to him yesterday. We also talked to the Irish Trekkie and the Trek Collector, who we're going to be doing collaborations with at some point too. So lots of great stuff going on, meeting lots of new people and expanding that Trekyards brand. So all for you guys. Now let's talk Discovery news. What are my thoughts on Discovery? So many things. I've actually spoken to the designer of the ship. I know who it is. After they watched the mission briefing, they gave me a call and made sure that to answer some of my questions. I can't reveal any of those, unfortunately. It was for our ears and eyes only. So it's hard to keep all that information under wraps. I do know details about the registry number, when the show takes place, all these kind of things. And it's great to know that knowledge in a way. Another way it's not, because you can't share it. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fantastic series. I'm hoping, and this is purely speculation because this has nothing to do with anything I was told, but I'm hoping that the first season is very much serialized, like they said, not episodic, but that it's one time period and then the next season is another time period. Judging by how weird a lot of people are saying that the Discovery looks, I don't think it looks weird. I think it looks amazing. But why can't it be a time ship? Why is it not a Federation time ship? That's why it's designed to be like that, be that shape. And it's got to go and fix some of the temporal Cold War problems or something. Some kind of problem that's creeped up. I mean, that would be fantastic. You can have every season of the show be a separate era in Star Trek, on the Star Trek timeline. I mean, that would be fantastic. They'd incorporate a whole bunch of new ships from different eras, and I think that'd be great. Not stuck in one time period and kind of limiting yourself to what you can do. Because, I mean, should they set it like Enterprise, you know, pre-TOS or whatever, I mean, you're limited to things you can show. You can't show the Mirror Universe. You can't show the Borg. You can't show a whole plethora of stuff. Same if they put it like in the like Star Trek 6 era, that kind of thing. You're still limiting yourself, and you can't. I guess you can always retcon things in later, but I hate when they do that. So I'm hoping that it's a multi-time story arc over over the seasons of the show, and that's the whole premise of the story, and that's a perfect reason why the ship would be called Discovery, I think. But I'm going to get on to your questions and comments from the last video, and I look forward to you guys checking out everything we've talked about and all the cool new content that's coming up. There's a lot of great stuff coming, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. Alright, so now it's the time of the show where we get on to your comments and questions from my last Captain's Log, and so let's get into it. There's 34, so it's not too bad. First is from George Alexander. Being a huge fan of TOS since the mid-1970s, I don't mind the reboot Trek. It's an alternate timeline, so it doesn't mess with canon. I really enjoyed the first one, pleasantly surprised. At first, I didn't like the new Enterprise design, but it grew on me. Into Darkness was horrible. And I agree it should be called the Narada timeline, or better yet, the Nero timeline. He is the one that created it. 100% agree. I don't like the Kelvin timeline idea. I kind of refuse to call it that. For me, it's always just going to be the JJ verse. So, yeah, it's like when they rename a highway around here. I'm going to call it what I grew up knowing it to be, you know. John Redcan commented on it and said, or the Spock timeline, since Ambassador Spock was the one who created the black hole, and forced Nero back in time. The Nimoy timeline? And then Skyla commented and said, it's sad knowing I won't see Neil commenting here anymore. Referring, of course, to Neil Davidson. And yes, it is. I would actually love to hear Neil's thoughts on the new Discovery ship and Star Trek Beyond, and I'd love to hear all the speculation on that. He was always really great at that kind of stuff, especially when it came to ships. So I'm really going to miss that too, Skyla. So Ricardo Warner, beyond spoiler alert. Somebody at Paramount listened to Captain Foley ripping off the nacelles he hates on the JJ Enterprise and replacing them with wider ones. Yes, space further apart, smaller nacelles. I mean, the changes are amazing. Like we said, we did our mission briefing where we talked about the concept one, at least, that Sean designed. It was changed a little bit for the final movie, which we're going to talk about later when we get more pictures and more video of that. But for now, we just talked about the concept one, and it's head and shoulders above the JJ Prize as far as a step in the right direction. So I said in that one, I'm about 90% happy with it. There's still a few things that bother me, but there's things about this that bother me that I would change if I could. Very minor things, because this is beautiful. But anyway. Jay Botero says, that mini collection is really cool. Thank you. Peter Smith, should be called the Red Matter timeline. That I agree with, absolutely. Enterprise H, the Kelvin Empire versus the United Federation of Planets. Who would win? I grew up as a television Trekkie and got on a hiatus after Enterprise ended. I watched Star Trek 2009 on television, and I recall it being somewhat entertaining, but forgot all about it. Star Trek Axanar reignited my passion for Star Trek, and it is the reason that I cared enough to support Beyond in the first place. About ruining Star Trek as a franchise, from my point of view, if CBS and Paramount wishes to sue for ownership of Axanar, then they have my blessing. Axanar is the movie which could put Star Trek on equal footing with Star Wars, and they should realize that. I want Star Trek to succeed, as we all do. I think Axanar did that for a lot of people, reignited their love for Star Trek and their hopes of what can be, what could be, and it's a shame that things have gone the way they have, but I mean, we'll see this play out over the next couple months. January is when the trial is, and we know that JJ and Justin Lin basically lied or misrepresented themselves, or CBS and Paramount, sorry, at the Beyond screening when they said that the lawsuit would be going away. So it's a shame, but that's just the way it is. Classy the Trekker says, why did you drop the ship-to-ship battles that you used to do at the end of every episode? Well, we've said this a few times. They were fun. A lot of people, a lot of fans that I talked to said they were very self-serving, very childish as well. So, there's that take. A lot of people weren't interested in it. It was neat to kind of set up the next ship we do, but at the same time, because of the production schedule, we film like 4 or 5 episodes and then edit them, and then depending on what's coming out or what's being released in the world of Star Trek, otherwise we we sometimes have to shuffle what gets released and when. So it was throwing off our release schedule because we said, oh, this is the next, we're going to fight this ship against the next ship that we're doing, which worked for a little while, but it just didn't work out as far as an editing schedule goes. And I'm sure a lot of people out there that are in production and editing can understand that, why it doesn't work as an idea to do that. And yeah, they were fun. We still plan on doing some kind of versus show at some point where we pit ships against each other, or it's me against the commander, things like that. So there are those shows in the works, but as for to end each show with that, it just wasn't proving to be a good formula, and not everybody enjoyed it. So that's the simple answer. And he goes on to say, hashtag don't Trump, Donnie Trump bomb Bajor. Hashtag Donnie Trump bomb Bajor. Yeah. K-Shade. I do not understand, Captain. You say that Samuel was a nice person, yet he was hitting you in almost all of your vlogs. Are you perhaps experiencing a form of post-traumatic stress disorder? Yes. I was actually very much abused. I was forced to make those vlogs and appear happy. If you'll notice, in a lot of the vlogs I will be filming and he will just be strolling behind me, keeping an eye on me. It's creepy. Now that I'm free, I can be more myself. And yes, I was very both emotionally, physically, and in every way, I was just abused. I mean, I was physically abused, I was emotionally abused, I was mentally abused, I was just picked on incessantly. So thank God he's back in England. Whew. No, just kidding. Mark Lawrence, we were just talking about Mark. Thank you for commenting, Mark. I rolled so many of those posters for them last year for the Kickstarter perk fulfillment. It was fun hanging out with them, though. Diana has everything so organized, so sorting and packing went smoothly. Yeah, we posted a picture of Samuel, myself, and Mark the day we left LA. The morning he came to meet us for breakfast. So we got a picture of ourselves, and I posted on the Axe and Our page because Mark was wearing his Axe and Our shirt. And Alec Peters piped in and said, Mark Lawrence is a stand-up, awesome guy. So there you go, Mark. And thank you very much for all your donations and help with everything you've done. He drove us to the airport. He was the nicest, most patient guy you'd ever want to meet. Wasn't mad or upset or frustrated about the traffic. I hate that kind of thing. It always puts me in a bad mood. But this Mark is the most laid-back, coolest guy you'd ever want to meet. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you again, Mark, in the future. So there you go. Chris Gurney. So much to go to the pool room. Don't know what that means. I'm probably talking about my new swag that I got. We don't have a pool room. My parents did. My parents have a billiard table downstairs. But no. Yeah, I need places to put things. I'm running out of space. I need to get rid of my kids. They need to move out, grow up and move out so I can get their rooms back. Have an office for myself finally. You know. Mark Bernero. New Hallmark Enterprise is better than I thought it would be. It looks like the ship's displayed in the Enterprise E Observation Lounge. We'll try to find a good deal on eBay this fall. It is fantastic. The gold plating on it is super shiny. I didn't expect that. I expected like a matte gold because the box has a matte gold. But I want to go back to Hallmark and get one of the ornament display stands. So it's got a wooden base and it's got a little hook so you can hang it. Because there's a few of my Hallmark ornaments that I want to hang like that. And I looked on eBay for the Hallmark stands, but they're like $14 US plus $17 shipping. A little pricey, so I want to see what they are at the store. But yeah, that's one I definitely want to display. USS Arkansas. Great shows, and like we say in Arkansas, great road trip. On Constitution Refit or Constitution 2 classes, this is from Ex Astris Scientifica. Or Scientia? Scientia? I don't know. Production on the second batch of class stopped at 2301 as it was replaced by newer designs, and the class was slowly withdrawn from service starting in 2319. By 2331, there were no Constitutions left in active service. On either site, Star Trek Extended Universe, the Constitution class heavy cruisers were retired in 2334. The Starfleet Museum timeline. Hope that helped keep on trekking. That was talking about the Constitution class ships in TNG battles, the Dominion battles, and things like that I answered last time. So thank you very much for that information. Gunplanet. Gunplanet? I don't know. The Enterprise Hallmark ornament is pretty cool. I'm trying to get this San Diego Comic-Con, New York City Comic-Con exclusive in the original series colors. That'd be great. Those look pretty cool, actually. Paul Giovanetti Jr., I think I got it right this time. I think the simplest explanation for the Kelvin timeline JJ-verse is that Narada's incursion had an omnidirectional effect on the time stream, similar to what we saw in yesterday's Enterprise. Only in this case, the Narada went back in time instead of forward. Very interesting. That makes perfect sense. Yes, that gets a Captain Foley approval thumbs up. Joseph Bryant, have you seen the Popular Mechanics article from on the ships of Star Trek Beyond? Yes, and the cutaways. Among other interesting things, it settles the size controversy by establishing the length of the JJ Enterprise at around 240 meters, assuming the Franklin is 60 meters. Sounds about right. The Franklin was 200 and some odd feet, and I don't know what feet is in meters. I don't have a conversion thing in my head. It's probably very simple, but I speak real measurement language, so I don't know what that is. Sorry, guys. Metric is the way to go. It makes sense logically. Logically. Carl Edwards, it's 100% the thief's fault they were stolen. Referring, of course, to the tube of posters and stuff that we had stolen at LAX. I said it was probably my fault because I told Samuel not to put it in his luggage. It's probably Samuel's fault because he set it down somewhere and we lost track of it. So, but yes, it was 100% LAX's fault for not, having more security and cameras. And no, it's basically the thief's fault. You're absolutely right. Galvers, Neil now ride in the fields of Elysium. He will not be forgotten. Indeed, he will not. I will always hold Neil very dear to my heart, his memory, and he will definitely always be represented here on Trekyards. Skyla, first. She was the first to comment. And Galvers and her go back and forth for a minute about Shakespeare, because Galvers says, "Et tu, Sky?" And Sky says, "Not sure what you said." Galvers said, "That's Shakespeare, my dear. Et tu, Brute. I mean, you too joined this first club. How could you?" And Sky said, "Oh, I see now. I wasn't sure if you meant it was an acronym or not. And yes, but only because I wanted to be annoying." Skyla, you're never annoying. Just so you know. Mark Plot, the Earth Federation versus the First Federation. Who would win? Probably the First Federation. Their ships are big, huge ass ships. Not really sure what they're capable of. Maybe all they can do is break off that tiny little ship and do its thing. Who knows? But considering they're so huge and they've been around so much longer than the Federation, apparently, they would probably win. They may only have two ships that are huge like that. I don't know. That depends on the time period, things like that. Analysis of Sci-Fi says, "You got some cool stuff at the cons." Why, thank you. The Smithsonian Channel having ads about the contest they're having, and the prize is visiting those Star Trek events in New York City. Cool. Yeah, I want to go to the Academy Experience, whatever it is in New York City. I think that'd be cool. So yeah, maybe I could win one. Who knows? Trust me, if I go, Sam and I go, it'll be documented and, for your viewing pleasure. Mark Plot, regarding augments, U.S. military women can get free augment surgery. Good for morale and smother dealings. Wonder if Starfleet adopted this. Oh, talking about my Star Trek Online women, how I augment them, but not con-augment-ish. Yeah, Starfleet should have that policy. Gonna get me in trouble, Mark. Mark Plot again, regarding Kelvin. I do hate Kelvin timeline. What about First Contact timeline? Because the Enterprise E engineers gave Phoenix upgrades and repairs to make it fly. Makes sense, because that's probably when the deviation happened, to be perfectly honest with you. They probably crossed over to not only the past, but a different timeline in First Contact. And that spawned the whole NX era, the whole Captain Archer, because Picard even said, you know, this is the 5th ship to bear the name Enterprise for the D. If Archer's Enterprise was around, that would have been 6. Just saying. Anyway. Mark Pot again. Captain Foley is at warp. Are we talking about how fast I was talking? Or how fast I think? I don't know. Nova 1972X. Hey Captain Foley, based on your recommendation, I picked up the 50th anniversary gold Enterprise ornament from Amazon. It looks really nice in person, and photos and videos just don't do it justice. A must-have for anyone who collects the Hallmark Star Trek ornaments for sure. Absolutely, yeah. The pictures and video do not do it justice. You need to see it in person. The sound is incredible on it. The gold plating's amazing. Watch for fingerprints. That's the problem. But yes, since it is the 50th anniversary one, it is a must for any Star Trek collector. Absolutely. Captain Thomas Miller says, there was a Constitution-class refit at Wolf 359. You can see its remains as the Enterprise D passes by. Yes, this is true. Absolutely. I think I got confused when I was answering the question last time. I was talking about TOS Connies, if there's any of those left, and I said the museum, and so, yeah. But I think that there was at least one refit there, yes. Vor1063. Okay, I think I need to defend Bajor just a little. Not that you're not entitled to your opinion. I think showing a very religious major species, showing a very religious major species, period. It also allowed them to show a radical end of religion while not demonizing the entire religion. And when you consider this is a 20-year-old show that is still very apt, did you get old? Yes, it did. But I love seeing this side of the Star Trek universe. I am not personally a religious person, but I think that the influence of religion would completely die in the future. Never rang true for me. Well, that's why it's cool that they were wormhole aliens that were the prophets, not gods. Even though the Bajorans called them gods, it had that scientific Star Trek approach to it. But yeah, I just watched an episode. Like I said, we've been watching Deep Space Nine. The Dominion War started now. We're in season 5, me and my wife. And every Bajoran episode, I hate it. I don't want to know about your religion. I don't care. Stop. But anyway. Ken. Hi, Captain. Ken from Dublin here. Hey, that's what I was just talking about. Ha-ha! Got this thing to work at last. Anyway, I agree Kelvin Timeline is a shit name. Can they not come up with something better than that? But regarding the Bajorans, Kai Wynn was evil to the bone, but great fun to watch. And Kira was angry but strong. Even named my daughter Nerys after her. Is that the one that screwed up the spelling of my name, Ken? But Vedic Barile was painful to watch. By the way, did you get the certificate in the post? Watch the beginning of the episode and you'll know for sure, Ken. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Thank you to your daughter, too, for filling them out and for sending a new one. Much appreciated. And I would love to come hang out with you sometime. Like I said, we've been talking to the Irish Trekkie now and the Trek Collector, who is also from Dublin, I believe. And so I've got a place to stay when I go there. Maybe I have 2 places to stay if you're up for having me. Because I am Irish. Foley's an Irish name. I am part Irish. Half Irish, half German. Means everything must be done perfectly tomorrow. Because I need a beer first. You know what I'm saying? So, the original spelling of my last name used to be O'Foley. O'Foley! But we dropped the O. Probably because we were drunk. And we dropped it. Get it? Anyway. Nova 1972X again says, Captain Foley, I'm sorry to hear Neil Davidson has passed. I didn't know him or his posts, but it is sad to hear that a fellow Trekkie has passed. Yes, indeed. And you missed out if you didn't know his personality. But he brings a smile to my face when I think about him, and I often wonder what he would think of the new things that are coming out. So he is still alive. He's very much alive as long as we remember him. He's really not dead, as long as we remember him. Vorton63. This is the last comment, guys. If you do come to New York City for the Starfleet Academy experience at the Intrepid, let me know. The USS Growler, Fleet 31, USS Iwo Jima, New York City away team, and Federation Space Station Centaur would be more than happy to host you down here and show you around. I'm taking my first run through this Thursday, but a lot of our crews have already gone through. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments on how it was, what would be what should be changed about it, if it was all good, if it sucked, if it was, I would love to hear. That's it, guys, for the comments from the last Captain's Log. Thank you very much for chiming in. And that's it. That's all. I don't think I'll be doing a Captain's Log before I go away to Trek Ticonderoga, although I might film some vlogs while I'm there again, much like very a la the Mission America tour. Didn't mean a la like the god Allah, but Allah. Never mind. Just I might film some stuff while I'm down there. Because my brother's going, my oldest brother, the original Captain Foley, as I call him, because he's older than me. He's the one reason I like Star Trek. Him and my brother Sean used to play Star Trek all the time, and I was young and I wanted to be like my older brother, so I got into Star Trek. And who knows what I would like and be interested in had I not had his influence in my life. So thank you very much, Steve. He will be there. You'll probably get to see him on one of the videos. He'll be a goofball probably, and make fun of me maybe. Who knows? Who wants to see that? Probably everybody. But yeah. Anyway, so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my 350 refit model. I enjoy showing it off all the time. And hopefully you guys enjoy seeing it. But there you go. Anyway, I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, obviously put them in the comment section below and I will get to them next time. As always, this is Captain Foley saying, see you next time, guys. Keep trekking.